I've got the top 10 ways for you to become the very best employee within your company. If you'll allow me a few minutes here, the very best is last, but here it goes. Number one, adhere to the company guidelines. Employees who look at the company rules or guidelines or the way the company wants you to conduct yourself within the job that you have, those that ignore those guidelines and kind of just go off and do their own thing, even though you're doing the job, but you're just kind of going off and still doing your own thing, they won't be seen very, very, very positively, I should say, in the boss's eyes. So remember, the company hired you. You agreed to come to work for the company for the price that you two agreed upon, your salary. Well, it's also incumbent then upon you to adhere to the company rules, whatever those rules are. You don't own the company. The company doesn't own you either, but the company has blessed you with a job. You bless them as well with being available to come to work to help them do what they do, but at the same time, they could have chosen somebody else. The fact that you work for them, adhere to the company guidelines. Work toward the company goals. That's number 2 of 10. Work toward the company goals. There's nothing wrong with you saying, hey boss, what are the company goals? What is the monthly goal this month? And here's why I say this. Even if you are a lowly line worker, if among the company goals is having a certain defect rate being a certain low number, or a customer satisfaction rating at a certain high number, whatever that might be, or if it's a sales number, or if it is you follow my point, whatever the metric is, it's good if you know that. And not every company shares those things with all the employees. So you, as just an employee, can say, look, I'd like to know what some of these goals are that I can personally impact. What goals can I personally affect and help the company attain? Okay? So that's number 2. Number 3, treat everybody with respect. It doesn't matter what your job title is. If you're up here and there are a lot of folks down here in the company, don't thumb your nose at those people. You one time, maybe not, but let's assume you one time were down there too, and you rose in the ranks. But even if you came on board at a higher level, you need people. You need to respect people. Because at the end of the day, such a trite phrase there, a turn of phrase, but at the end of the day, we all put our pants on one leg at a time. And at the end of this journey on earth, we're all going to be in a 6-foot pine box, 6 feet under the dirt. So treat people with respect. Treat them with respect and dignity, no matter what their job is. Imagine the business that you work for, the job that you have, without those people who you may think are less than. Without them, it might make your job much more difficult. Number 4, use your best effort. Give it your best. Don't just kind of ho-hum go through the motions of your job and just kind of do enough to get by. The boss will see it. Co-workers will see it. It will affect how you get along with others. When you put your best foot forward, you have a much greater chance of your job being more secure, getting pay raises, being recommended for promotions, and those sorts of things. It's also just the right thing to do. Number 5, become an expert at your job. Your job may be something simple, but there are a lot of details that you can hone and skills that you can hone along the way, making you better and better and better and better at your job. There may be 10 people in your company who all do the same job. Well, why not be the best at it? Whatever that means. You can look at what the job requires. You can look at how other people perform their job, if it's a similar or same type of job. Well, become better. School yourself in ancillary knowledge tracks, if you will, that help you with the job that you do. Get better at it. Become the best. Become the best. Don't accept just good when you can become great at it, whatever it is. And at any level, you can become the best. Number 6, offer value to the workplace, to your workplace. What does that mean, value? Imagine, only you can define that, but let's imagine that that without you there, nothing changes. They don't miss a beat. Doesn't really matter if you're there or not, but you're there doing the job that you do. And if you call in sick, nobody misses you. That is to say, you personally, but no one misses the fact that you're not doing your job because maybe your job is just not that much value as far as how you do your job. Add value to it one way or another. One way that you can add value is not doing just the job that you're paid to do, but offering ways to help others within your organization, within your, within the level that you're allowed to operate. But find some way to help others or to make it to where your job is so valuable, they'll miss you. They will, pardon me, definitely miss you if you're sick. If you're out for 6 months, wow, didn't realize how much value that person brought to the organization. Be that person. Number 7, focus on solutions. In other words, don't just bring complaints to the boss. You see something that doesn't work the way you think it should work or should maybe go a different way. Don't just be a complainer. Offer solutions. You have a complaint? Fine. Go to the boss and say, hey, there's a situation. Can we talk about this? Don't go as a bad attitude, in a bad attitude kind of a way, but here's a situation that I think maybe I could help with if you're open to having the conversation about it. I see a situation that's this, and rather than say, this is horrible, can you fix it? You can say, here's the situation. I have a couple ideas that might help make it better. The boss appreciates that. Your boss may have a dozen or 100 things on his or her plate. The only thing that person needs is another something to deal with. If you bring that to the boss and you offer solutions, boss may not take your solution, your recommendation, or he might. You don't know. But be the one that brings solutions, not just complaints. Number 8 out of 10. We're winding down. Number 8, be open to change. Nothing is guaranteed except change. The only thing that stays the same is change keeps happening. Isn't that kind of a paradox? But it is true. Be open to change. The older you get, especially, because we can become set in our ways to say, well, I've always done it this way, and I'm always going to do it that way, and I don't like how the company's changing. I just don't. Well, be flexible. Try to be flexible. It's difficult as you get older. I get it. See this white hair? I'm 60. I know it's difficult. At this recording, you may be seeing this 10 years later. I'm 70 or 80 or 90. Fact is, the older we get, the less agreeable we are to change. Try to stay flexible and be open to change. Number 9, own your own mistakes. You make a boo-boo, fess up to it. You mess up, fess up. That's my error. I'll fix it, and I'll make sure that never, ever happens again. Wow, what a great way to be a wonderful employee. The reason I say this is a lot of people don't do that. It's always somebody else's fault. Always somebody else's fault. And if you're that person that always blames somebody else, the row you're going to hoe will be difficult. Trust me on this. Own up to your own mistakes. And number 10, drum roll please, build relationships. Among the best tips I can give you in terms of how to be the best employee is having strong relationships internally. Have good relationships. You can get things done if you have good relationships with coworkers, with lateral managers, with people directly up your chain of command. Have those great relationships. People will come to your aid if you have good relationships. They'll have your back if you have good relationships. They will, if you call in sick, they'll cover your workload maybe more voluntarily if you have great relationships. If you happen to have a situation where you end up getting laid off for no fault of your own, some of the relationships you have at work, those folks may know other folks who may be willing to hire you, right, outside the company or in a different division of the company. Those relationships are really, really, really important. Just getting along with folks, okay? Take those 10 tips to heart, maximize them, do the best you can at all of them, and you will be a star employee, assuming you do a good job. All that's great, but if you do a bad job, you're just bad at what you do, that's not a good thing either. So be good at what you do at the same time. That's number 11, I guess. Well, I hope this helps you a bit. I am Greg with Job Tips and Straight Talk again. Please like, subscribe, share, do all those great things if you get value from these videos, and I appreciate it so much. Meantime, I hope you have that great career, that dynamic career, and that best employee status that you can possibly be, and I will see you in the next video.